Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I handle it. I couldn't stand being that.
I'd like to call this meeting in order. Welcome everybody today to the Board of Supervisor on a Tuesday. A third pledge allegiance led by Supervisor Thomas.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And will you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Conover?
Here.
Mr. Mayday?
Here.
Mr. Diamond?
Here.
Ms. Gilligan? Here. Ms. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Mr. Driscoll?
Here.
Mr. Patchit?
Here.
Mr. Drossy?
Here.
Bean?
Here.
Mr. Cressida?
Here.
Mr. Merlino?
Here.
Mr. Stroud?
Here.
Mr. Wild?
Here.
Gowan? Mr. Strainer?
Here.
Mr. Etu?
Here.
Thomas?
Here.
Ms. Runyon?
Here.
Chairman Garrity?
Here.
Quorum is established.
Okay, first item of business, motion to approve the April 11th board meeting minutes. Motion by Supervisor Runyon, second by Supervisor Gilligan. Any corrections? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, privilege for public comment. Anybody wish to comment? 3 minutes, and please state your name and location for the record.
Morning, everyone. Chairman Garrity, members of the board. I'm Cam Cardinelli, and I have the privilege of serving as president of Lower Adirondack Pride. Today, I speak on behalf of more than 10,000 individuals that our organization served last year, 3,500 of whom live right here in Warren County, all 11 towns, 2 villages, and the city of Glens Falls. I'm not just here as an individual, I'm here as a representative of thousands of your constituents. I rise in regard to Resolution 192, adopting the Warren County flag display policy. We support the creation of a designated commemorative flagpole at the County Municipal Center, a shared space that honors nationally recognized awareness months such as mental health, breast cancer survivors, people with disabilities, first responders, and yes, LGBTQ people too. Last year, Lower Adirondack Pride saved 32 lives in crisis. 24 of those were right here in Warren County. 17 of them were youth. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather see a pride flag on a pole than read statistics about dead kids. This is also about smart policy and community growth. Communities that lead with inclusion see stronger economic development. People want to live, visit, and work in these communities. 70% of Gen Z and millennials say that they're more likely to visit places that are openly inclusive. So let's not be remembered for standing still. Let us be remembered for standing up, for visibility, for life, and for community. Thank you for your time and for your service to these people.
Anybody else wish to address the board? Please state your name or location.
Short. Hi, my name is Jade Eddy, and I am the owner of MT Returnables right here in Queensbury. My Redemption Center should be celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, but instead I am facing closure. The unfortunate truth is that my industry is dying due to legislative failure in Albany. New York once had 700 redemption centers, many right here in Warren County, but in just the last 2 years, we've lost 168 of them. Our payroll costs have increased by 114%, but the handling fee that we are paid has not increased since 2009. We cannot survive 2025 expenses on 2009 pay. This failure in Albany has led to the closure, or led to nearly 700 jobs lost, and is causing rippling effects in our communities. When redemption centers shut down, consumers lose access to getting their deposit money back. I now have customers driving as far as 45 minutes just to return their containers. I've recently opened 4 new fundraising accounts just from the town of Johnsburg. These people shouldn't have to travel this far to return bottles to raise money for churches, food pantries, and youth programs. My business supports over 35 local charities and organizations. I'm proud to say that Adirondack Pride is one of them. Just one Boy Scout troop in the area brings me 500,000 containers a year that would otherwise end up in our landfills, and it helps them raise $20,000 a year. If I close, all of these organizations are losing vital funding, and those containers find their way into the trash. The thing is, they cannot just take these to a grocery store or a convenience store. Those systems cannot handle that kind of volume. And frankly, they're already denying regular bottle returns. The Cumberland Farms right around the corner from my shop won't take back bottles, which is against the law, but they're overwhelmed. When Redemption Center closed and stores are overwhelmed, it results in consumers losing access and throwing away these containers, which means they end up in our landfills and taxpayers foot the bill. So instead of allowing New Yorkers to keep recycling and get money that they were mandated to pay, New York is turning this into a sneaky tax, and it's causing even more waste, which is completely unnecessary and just plain wrong. The system is highly successful when properly maintained. The issues we face are solely due to neglect. We've been pleading with state lawmakers to pass the bigger, better bottle bill to save businesses like mine, bring back jobs, and ensure access to consumers. Without it, New Yorkers lose much needed money, and our communities will face more litter, more waste, and fewer resources. Today, I am asking you to pass a resolution in support of this bill and to demand that our legislators put their constituents and their communities first. There's more detailed information in the packets that I have here, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Supervisor Simpson was pushing this.
Matt Simpson?
Yes.
Unfortunately, our representatives here are not championing for us.
Okay.
They are more concerned about bigger businesses like the beverage distributors and companies. Dan Steck told me he's concerned about gas stations.
We'll have a discussion with him.
Okay.
Thank
He
you.
is a caring man.
Anybody else? Thank
There's only 5. I didn't realize there were so many.
you.
All right.
I do have enough business cards for all of you. If you have any questions, just contact me. Thank you guys so much. Jean also used to have the landfill with the containers. She get them out of there.
Okay. Lexi, we have a quarter award to give out today.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm thrilled to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Krista McEwen, who sits over here to my right, on being selected as the employee of the quarter. Kristen's dedication, positive attitude, and outstanding performance have truly set her apart. She consistently goes above and beyond in her role as the Deputy Director of the Real Property Tax Services Department, and her contributions have made a meaningful impact on both the County Real Property Department and the town assessor offices. Kristen is an essential part of what keeps the Real Property Tax Services office moving. She is very dedicated to her job. Kristen has taken the time to learn as much as she can about real property tax services so she can assist whenever and wherever she needs to. She works very closely with the town assessors to help keep their files current and up to date. If they are having difficulties, they reach out for her assistance and or direction as needed. She has a close connection with the New York State Office of Real Property Tax Services as a liaison between them and the local municipalities. Kristen provides numbers to the Board of Supervisors through the footings and district totals, which are used for the budget processes on the county and town levels. The town supervisors also work with Kristen when she sets the tax rates for their towns so she can produce the town and county tax rolls and bills for the collection of taxes by the town tax collectors. Amongst numerous other tasks that she does throughout the year, she continues to stay on top of it all. I feel Kristen is a very valuable member of the Real Property Office as well for the county and local municipalities. What she does is needed and used by a large group that couldn't complete their jobs without her. She is very driven and ambitious and willing to stretch boundaries, but most importantly, she gets things done. We truly appreciate all of your hard work and commitment. This recognition is well-deserved, and I am proud to have you as a valuable part of my team in the Warren County team. Congratulations, Kristen. Okay. We want to go up there, does he want to come back? There's more room.
Want to come back here? or-
Oh, there. Makeshift headquarters, yeah. Chris is one of the first people we always get that letter from in December. So, you know, our tax rates. Correct.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, we have to open a public hearing. This would be modifications to real property tax lease agreements between Warren County and Northern Gateway Renewables, LLC, Southern Gateway. Lastberg, if you notice, please.
Sure. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Warren, New York is considering modifications to the real property lease agreements between Warren County and Northern Gateway Renewables LLC and Southern Gateway Renewables LLC. Notice is further given that pursuant to a resolution number 175 of 2025 adopted by the Board of Supervisors on April 11th, 2025. Public hearing will be held in the by the Board of Supervisors at the Supervisors Rooms in the Warren County Municipal Center, Route 9, Queensbury, New York, on May 13th, 2025 at 10 a.m., at which time and place all persons interested in the matter consideration of modifications to the real property agreement between Warren County and Northern Gateway Renewables LLC and Southern Gateway Renewables LLC will be heard concerning same.
Okay, we'll declare this public hearing open. Does anybody wish to speak to us on the public hearing? Anybody have any questions? There, nobody, no questions? County attorney, you have anything to add? No. Confuses again.
Oh, I think we're all set.
All right. Nobody? Okay, then we'll declare this public hearing closed and we'll move on to the next.
Very long.
Report of committees. I have a short report. On the April 11th, I attended the Board of Supervisors. 21st, committee meetings, criminal justice, public safety, emergency services, health services, human service, oxy tax, and tourism. 22nd, county facilities, public works, parks, and environmental and real property services, economic growth and development committees. The 24th, I went to Intercounty out in Fulton County. We went to a art gallery. It was put on by folks with disabilities. It was really uplifting and a real good trip we made. A lot of good artwork. And they host 60 clients every day out there, and it's off in Gloversville, and something I didn't know was there, but it was really enlightening and uplifting, as I said. They worked very, very hard. On the 30th, I went to APA meeting at Paul Smith's. My second trip up there, Frank and I went up there on the 23rd to find out that there was no meetings. Paul Smith, find out there's no meeting. I went back for round two. It was a good meeting, and it was cold. It was 34 degrees at the college, and some of those people were walking around in shorts and short sleeve shirts. And I'm thinking, man, something wrong with you. On May 1st, we had the Legislative and Rules Committee, Personnel Administration, and Financial Budget Committee meetings. On May 7th, I attended the annual New York State Finance School meeting at Queensbury Hotel. County Treasurer Christine Horton did an excellent job discussing short-term rentals with the attendees. County Administrator John Taplin was already there, also there. And I'm going to ask Christine if you would give an update on the school. And I think it was very, very successful. First time the school's been held in Warren County and Queensbury in a long time.
Morning, thank you. So yes, I think I shared with you guys that for this was the 59th year in several decades. It had been in Syracuse, right on the campus. There was a Sheraton. but unfortunately, well, fortunately for Syracuse, their growth, they took it over. They took the hotel over and used it for student housing. So last year, which was my first year, it was in Turning Stone Casino. I was like, whoa, this is a little high end for, I thought, government, but sure enough, it was cost prohibitive. And they did a focus group and we were on a very short list. We were the number one pick out of 5 counties. Very, very excited, a lot of excitement around here. And so we all worked together to make it as impactful as possible. And I would like to thank the tourism group, Heather, Paul, Aaron, Maggie, and Kyle, as well as Glen Falls, Mayor Bill Collins and Amy Collins, and then also Gina Mitzner was on hand with her with helping out as well. And then, of course, the Warren County Execs and Support Team. We had Chairman Garrity, John Taflon, Don Lehman, Ethan Gaddy, and myself. And so there were a couple of things that the goal is to have them come back for literally decades at a time. And I think we've made a tremendous impact on them. It was very, very well received. We made it into the NISAC newsletter with hundreds of county officials gathered for the 59th annual County Finance School. It's hosted by NISAC, the state controller, and also the New York State treasurers and finance officers, which I'm part of. Over a dozen workshops were discussed with CPE credits. So I was all over those CPE credits. This year, we got a hot off the press state budget from Tom DiNapoli, as well as from the NISAC presenters. Tom also gave a keynote address, which I'll touch on just in a minute. At the end of his keynote address, he's kind of famous for making some, having some fun with guests. There was an awesome discussion on structurally balanced budgeting from Dan Aquilano in the Office of the State Controller. He does a great job. And then there was a panel on New York State, the short-term rental sales tax that was very well received, and lots of people at different places with that. And I'm continuing to stay engaged. And my ultimate goal, because we're automating our occupancy tax, my ultimate goal is to get us rock solid, and then potentially to offer a shared service, which will come at an administrative fee. So potentially another revenue stream. Just a couple things I wanted to share with you, as this is from Gina Mitzner. As the buzz continues around the finance officers meeting, glowing reports and enthusiastic conversations alike, I just had to take a moment to share today's Post-Star article with you. So we were written up in the Post-Star, maybe even the Chronicle. This kind of coverage simply wouldn't happen, without the leadership and championship from Warren County and Glens Falls as its host location. Your dedication truly made this possible, and the ripple effects are already being felt in such meaningful ways. That's from Gina, and then also from a former treasurer that was on hand. Warren County is doing a wonderful job in hosting NISAC's Finance School. Congratulations on a hugely successful conference. I had multiple people, both NISAC, the controller, and fellow treasurers say that it was an excellent venue, that they enjoyed being, and they loved downtown Glens Falls. We had an event at the Brothers. Davidson Brothers, thank you. Davidson Brothers, that was usually successful. We also had Queensbury Hotel did a phenomenal job. So it was all very, very positive. And again, I think that we will be getting it next year for sure. And our hope is for decades. So I'll close with Tom DiNapoli has at every one of his keynote speeches, he always ends with unclaimed funds. And I'm not kidding you, everybody, the treasurer is like, oh, I checked, I'm good. I don't have any unclaimed funds. I personally have checked. Unfortunately, we are going to add this to the procedure. I was there with Carrie Black, and he said, who's here from Warren County? And I was like, usually I'm like this, but I was like this. He's like, come on up. So Warren County, he offered us a $3,976 check in unclaimed funds. And I am proud to tell you that we're taking this as an indirect add into the savings that the Treasurer's Department is working on. And we also have added a new procedure to make sure that we check this annually. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Chrissy. Last thing I did in May so far, I stopped by the annual Spring Zing event at the Fish Factory. The reports I received, attendance was pretty good and everyone seems to enjoy themselves. I also would like to thank the factory staff and all the local sponsors. If you are here, there's tons of local sponsors we get for that event. So I know Supervisor Runyon was there. Good event. Kids have a good time. They always get fit, so. And that concludes my report. So I go to Supervisor Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance and Budget met on May 1st, and there's 5 resolutions in your packet. The first 2 is supplemental appropriations for probation and Treasurer's Department. 177 amends the county budget for 2025 for the Sheriff's Department. It's a grant. And Social Services is a transfer of funds. 201 is the IT department, transferring $22,400 from the computer reserve to 4 individual departments for equipment. Resolution 202 authorizes appropriation of $2,869.98. And it's from deferred revenue Gaslight Village parking fees to Charles R. Wood Park for a little lawn and landscape equipment. And it reimburses the Village of Lake George for a lawn. Last one, resolution 203 authorizes appropriation of $5,040.04 from the Warren County Industrial Sewer Park Sewer fund balance, and that's to pay Washington County sewer and taxes. That's my report.
Supervisor Runyon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tourism met on April 21st. There's one resolution in your packet, number 193. Authorizing an agreement for the creative design and printing of the 2025 Warren County Travel Guide, which is not to exceed $175,000. The next for the meeting is May 20th at 11:35.
Supervisor Conover.
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Mayday.
No report.
Supervisor Diamond.
No reports.
Supervisor Gilligan.
No report.
Supervisor Turner.
Thank you. The Environmental Concerns and Real Property Tax Services met on April 22nd. And there are 2 resolutions. Number 190 is authorizing the conveyance of the Town of Queensberry tax map parcel number 309.14-1-86-12. Don't ask me to explain that. To the Town of Queensberry. And 191 is authorizing acceptance of the donation of land located in the town of Queensberry. I will not read the map parcel number, from JP Gross Properties LLC. We will not be meeting in May, but we will be meeting in June.
Supervisor Bruno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can I ask a question on these 2 parcels first? Where exactly is the parcel 190 and 191?
Lexi's.
Lexi.
Let me just go to the resolution, sorry. So, the first one in resolution 190. This is a little tiny strip. It's kind of in the middle of the road over by where the old Carl R's restaurant was. So that's Big Boom, right? I'm looking at John for that guidance. So Big Boom, they changed the direction of the road and brought it in over here and then it bends. And so when they were in the process of all of that, this little tiny strip was conveyed to Warren County and it really should have been conveyed to the town of Queensberry, not us, because it's a town road. So it's in the middle of the road. So we're really just correcting something that happened a long time ago.
Thank you.
The second piece is a piece of property that is out by the airport. It's on Queensberry Avenue. And it's a small piece that we actually sold to Joe Gross way back in a tax sale. And it was actually part of the larger piece that is behind it where one of the solar projects are going. So that's why we recommended a consolidation back into the original lot of land that it came out of.
Very good. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Good question.
Anyone?
Okay, now, on with county facilities. County facilities met on, Tuesday, April 22nd at 9 a.m. There are 3 resolutions in your packet, 178, 179, and 180. 179 and 180 are roll call, and these are to amend the land lease agreement with Northern Gateway Renewables for the, Northern Gateway and Southern Gateway. These are for the 2 solar farms, and county attorney had updated these leases with a lot of red line changes that were made, which included construction that was limited to tax map parcels, increased and added insurance, and incorporated what the town of Queensbury had required. They did a good job of going through this. For decommissioning the sites, the Nexamp is required to pay a $750,000 bond to remove debris if they fail to remove the solar panels at the end of their useful life. So I hope you can support those. Additionally, at the meeting was noted the boardroom remodeling project should be completed soon, mid-May, and would not likely, which it isn't, be ready for use until the June board meeting. And they made pretty good progress in there, but still a ways to go. And I don't know if Mr. Ajos has anything to add to either one of these items. Probably looking for.
Okay.
So the boardroom is expected to be, the contractor should be out of there by the end of this week. That's the rest of the laminate that they have to do on the back wall and the dais. Our guys are doing some of the base molding around the bottom of the rooms, and you'll see that most of that is complete now. The last piece of the puzzle will be wiring in the TVs as well as all the microphones and such for the desk. The only 2 pieces that we're missing right now are the committee table and the media desk or the reporter's desk. But we put an email out to them this morning. We're hoping to get them sometime next week. So.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Question, we didn't have a time delay clause on there for penalization?
They're not delayed. The delay was on our end with asbestos.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else, Dan?
No, our next meeting is Thursday, May 22nd at 9 a.m. and that concludes my report.
Supervisor Driscoll.
Thank you, Chairman. The Human Services Committee met on Monday, April 21st. Good discussions, but no resolutions came from that meeting. Other than Supervisor Thomas mentioned a transfer within social services, a small amount. The next meeting will be next Wednesday, May 21st, beginning at or about 10:10 a.m. We'll be hearing from Veteran Services and the Department of Social Services. It's kind of a light agenda, but I encourage members and other supervisors to attend. Cornell Cooperative Extension will hold their next monthly meeting this coming Monday, May 19th, beginning at 6 p.m. up in Warrensburg at the extension offices. John Bowe is distributed their monthly newsletter, good information in there. They're involved this weekend in their annual plant sale. A lot of the plants have already been bought, but if you head up there Saturday, you might find some good things, a few good things. Get there early.
Get there.
Yeah. And also this past week, I emailed a copy of the Department of Social Services monthly report to members of the board. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Josh, Supervisor Patton.
No report.
Supervisor Drossy.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. The Criminal Justice, Public Safety and Emergency Services Committee last met on April 21st. It was a brief agenda, but before you today, we've got 4 resolutions for your consideration. 181 appoints members of the Warren County Fire Advisory Board. 182 adopts the county's domestic terrorism prevention plan. 183 allows for repairs of the roof of the correctional facility. And 184 is a request for a home rule to transfer state-owned property to Warren County. That property is located on Fox Farm Road in the town of Queensbury. We will not have a May meeting. That's my report.
Supervisor Bean,
No report.
Supervisor Casito,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Occupancy Tax Committee met on April 21st. There were no resolutions from that meeting, but there was, we started discussion on making revisions to the OCTAX events application, and a lot of those recommendations were based on supervisors' input from last year. And I'll give you, well, I'll follow up with an update in the future on that. And our next meeting is May 21st. And I anticipate Winter's Dream's gonna come in and give us an update on where they're at. So look forward to that. That's my report. Thank you.
Supervisor Merlino,
No report, sir.
Supervisor Stroud,
Yes, resolution 192 is in front of you, and that's adopting the Warren County flag display policy. In our current poll would be limited to the American flag, the New York State flag, and the PLWMI flag. What caused us to even think about this policy is the request by others to use our particular flagpole for other flags. Now, the committee was not inclined to remove the American flag, the New York State flag, or the PIWMIA flag to accommodate another cause, no matter how legitimate that cause may be. And there are legitimate causes out there. And pride is an example of a legitimate cause. You know, life's short. We know that. I think it's important that we try and provide happiness for all people, that we're all different in some ways, and that we shouldn't be allowed to use those differences against us. I think that understanding and love of each other should prevail. So I think that the idea proposed by Supervisor Turner that we provide a place for other legitimate causes is a worthwhile lesson that should be investigated. And as Mrs. Turner pointed out, the city of Glens Falls has a separate poll, a poll that doesn't include the flags that I just mentioned. So those flags still are on the main poll, but other causes are allowed to use the other poll. And in the town of Queensbury, we have a poll, and it has the American flag and the MIA-POW flag. And I wasn't inclined to remove one of those to allow other causes. However, we have a banner on Quaker and Bay Road, and that is allowed to be used by other causes. And Pride will have, June is Pride Month. Pride will have a banner up there the last week of June. So if the county could move forward, as suggested by Supervisor Turner, and investigate another place to be able to put forward justified causes, not hate speech. I think we're all unanimously agreed, not hate speech, but there's other legitimate causes. In any event, that's a long way to introduce the resolution that came out of the Legislative Rules Committee on May 1st. And that's the only resolution before you today. Thank you.
thank you. Supervisor Wild,
Chairman, thank you. Personnel, Administration, Higher Education met on May 1st. Resolutions 194 through 200 are in front of us today. I request your support on all of those. One 94 is a typical salary and compensation plan amendment for probation, sheriff's office and county clerk's office. 195 is appointing member to the Warren Washington County Industrial Development Agency. 196 is approving a standard workday time reporting for retirement purposes. 197 is a fiscal approval authority management policy. 198 is a collective bargaining agreement between SUNY Adirondack and the Faculty Association of SUNY Adirondack. 199 is authorizing the sale of real property located at 240 Sanford Street in the city of Glens Falls by Adirondack Community College. 200 is temporary positions within the Warren County Workforce Development, primarily for the summer employment program that they run. And Mr. Chairman, the only other thing that I have to note as involvement is this past Saturday, I happened to be honored to address the SUNY graduates. And I look forward to the next meeting. Hopefully we can have Emily Enslow, which was part of the proclamation, have her here to address the board and receive the recognition from us personally. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor McGowan,
No report.
Supervisor Strainer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Human Services did not meet last month. I did, though, attend the jurors annual meeting and found out the different particulars of how many cases and how many jurors and all these things were selected throughout the year. We did at that meeting, though, reappoint Wanda Smith for another 5-year term as Commissioner of Jurors. If you know anything about Wanda, she's very thorough, very efficient. She's gone above and beyond for a commissioner. She's gone into the public and talked to kids at the schools, and she's tried to entice people to get into the court system and look forward for a career. She followed the footsteps of our other, that I know of, 2 great commissioners, was Hildy Mann and Bonnie Nadeau. They always stepped up and did a little bit more. So we appointed Wanda for another 5 years, and that's my report.
Supervisor Etu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Economic Growth and Development met on April 22nd. We have resolutions 185 through 189. 185 and through 187 all authorize the submission of a grant application for funding related to coastal rehabilitation and resiliency projects, the implementation of flood mitigation projects, inland flooding and waterfront revitalization program implementation projects. 188 authorizes an agreement with our regional planning board and our county planning department for the planning department to provide the regional planning board with support for the town of Huron's new comprehensive plan. 189 authorizes an agreement with BOCES related to the summer youth employment program. And about 5 minutes ago, our county planner asked if we would consider withdrawing 186, stating that it's not a good fit for the county just yet, and asked when the time is right. I'm happy to make a motion to withdraw.
Resolutions.
We meet on May 22nd on or around 10 a.m. Thank you.
Porter County.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Report. 15th of April, Dawn Lehman and I met with Lisa Ryder, who is the new editor of the Post-Star. She's got a definite interest in providing local news and commentary, and we were impressed with her credentials and her enthusiasm. I think if you look at the Post-Star, particularly Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll see a dramatic increase in local coverage. Appreciate that. 16th of April, attended our job fair at the YMCA, and I just want to highlight Workforce Development has hosted 10 job fairs this year in locations throughout the county. 8 of those were held for school-focused job fairs. Over 2,000 students and 50 businesses participated. They hosted 2 community job fairs for adults with over 200 job seekers and 50 businesses. They've done a really great job this year reaching out to those who are looking for employment. 22nd of April, I met with Jim Siplon from the EDC and Chuck Barton IDA for our quarterly Regional Strategic Alliance meeting. And just some stats. Our unemployment has dropped to 4.3, which is down from 4.5 the same time last year. So far in 2025, there have been 150 new business registrations, which compares to about 93 last year. Lodging rates are slightly up, but as you saw from the recent treasurer's report, sales tax is down 1.6% from last year. Those statistics, if you get the Warren County Weekly, quarterly, Don Lehman is going to publish economic indicators as part of the Warren County Weekly. Those stats I just mentioned were in there. He's done a great job preparing. 29th of April, I had my second town hall. We call it Conversation with the County in Queensbury. It was well attended by Warren County residents. We had a great discussion on a variety of topics. They're informal, and I intend to continue holding these town hall type meetings every quarter at various locations throughout the county. That concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Report of County Attorney.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm pleased to report that there have been no new notice of claim filed and no new lawsuits since the last board meeting. The Warren County Risk and Safety Committee met yesterday for its monthly meeting. In your packets, Resolution 197 is a result of their work from the prior month, which is the Fiscal Approval Authority Management Policy, which was drafted and approved by that committee. During the meeting yesterday, there was excellent turnout from that committee. And as a result of that meeting, there'll be additional policies working through the committee system this month. One for employee timekeeping approval management, and another for one consolidated countywide unmanned aircraft system use policy, which is drones. I do want to commend one of our supervisors who assisted in the drafting of that policy, the supervisor from Queensbury, Supervisor E2, for his expertise. And that policy will cover all departments. At contracts, more and more contracts were coming through the county, which included drone use. So we needed a policy that would cover not just OES, not just the future use of drones by the sheriff's office, but all departments, especially when entering into contracts with vendors who are providing drone services. The next Board of Ethics meeting is scheduled for Friday, May 23rd, 2025 at 2 p.m. And subject to your questions, that concludes my report for this month. Thank you.
Being Communications.
We have the County Clerk's Warren County 2024 Annual Report, County Auditor's Real Property Tax Corrections Report for April 2025, Warren County Jury Board minutes from their April 24th special meeting and April 24th annual. Have letters from Fitzgerald Morris Baker Firth regarding public hearings for the Adirondack RDI LLC project in the town of Queensbury, Native Development Associates LLC project in the town of Queensbury, Patent Property Management LLC project in the city of Glens Falls, as well as an application for a real property tax exemption for FW Web Company in the town of Queensbury. We received a public hearing notice from the town of Queensbury regarding an application for sewage disposal variances. And Washington County Board of Supervisors Resolution number 104 of 2025 to approve contract between SUNY Adirondack and its Faculty Association for years 2026.
Okay. Any questions? Reading of resolutions.
Proclamations 22 through 25, mortgage tax report, resolution numbers 176 through 203, and floor resolution numbers 1 and 2 were distributed to the members of the Board of Supervisors and posted to the Warren County website on May 7th. Proclamations before you are number 22, which is the Warren County Board of Supervisors SUNY Adirondack at Certificate of Excellence Award, which is given to Emily Enslow. Number 23 is Lions Disease Awareness Month. Number 4 is Military Appreciation Month, and 25 is Physical Fitness Sports Month. Motion is needed to bring floor resolution number 1 to the floor.
May I have a motion by Supervisor Bruno to bring floor resolution number 1, second by Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
For resolution number one will now be resolution 204. Motion is needed to bring for resolution number 224.
By Supervisor Doyle, second by Supervisor Ryan, for resolution number 224. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
For resolution number 2 is now resolution 205. You need to, a motion to amend resolution 193. That was awarding bid for the Warren County travel guide, to a vendor to be determined. We now know who that's going to be. Contractor is going, Synergy Studio LLC, the fourth idea. And total is going to not to exceed $155,600.
Amend the resolution. Right. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Resolution number 193 is now amended and a motion to withdraw resolution 186.
That's voted by Supervisor E2 to draw resolution 186, seconded by Supervisor Ryan, draw resolution 186. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any refusals from, any votes on resolution? Running, public comment. Is there any further public comment on any resolutions?
Can I?
Sure.
Thank you. I just wanted to go back to resolution 192 and what I'm asking is that the chair of the committee bring it back to the committee for discussion. And I know in the last committee meeting, there was a lot of worry about hate speech not being able to say no to people that want to hang flags that show hate speech. But I do have an article that was written by NICOM, and there was a Supreme Court decision made, and I believe it was 2017, and Justice Breyer noted the difference between this was a law case between somebody that wanted in Boston, the city of Boston, and somebody that wanted to hang a religious flag. So that's what they were looking at, and they did rule for Boston. And I'm not going to read everything, but I just wanted you to know that if we decide to be able to do that, to do a designated pole for specific flags, that if it's governmental decided, if the government decides, that's us, if we make the decision on that, then we don't have to worry about First Amendment rights. If it becomes a public forum where perhaps you put it on the website, you have an application where people can apply to have a certain flag hung, then that would be First Amendment rights that we would have to contend with. So as long as it's governmental decided, we're okay.
Supervisor Driscoll.
Thank you, Chairman. In light of, in continuation of Supervisor Turner's comments, a couple years ago, we talked about the issue of whether or not Warren County was going to recognize Juneteenth as a legal holiday. And there was just a little bit of discussion that took place. And I suggested that in addition to be a human issue, it was also an economic issue. Certainly, we don't want to be, in that case, one of the few counties in New York State that didn't support the establishment of the recognition of that particular day. And I think that as far as our economy, tourism, and everything, we would be setting a bad precedent if we didn't find a way to recognize that particular issue and all causes. So I would support, the establishment of some type of an alternative solution to this issue. Thanks.
The other discussion. vote on resolutions then. No other discussion?
I gotta use it. Yeah, I have a question on 184. Just what exactly are we trying to take over?
The state emergency management.
Anybody know?
184.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You want to do?
It's the State Emergency Management Office on Fox Farm Road in Queensbury, and I think the state wants to deed title to it. I think the county toured it recently. I grew up about 3 houses down from it.
I've had a discussion with the county attorney on this, and we think we're going to have to do some homework. Kevin Hajos and Don Lehman and Under Sheriff Como and I toured the property yesterday. There is an underground facility. It's not as large as I initially believed. It's probably around 10,000 square feet, I'd say.
Oh, that's it.
And it used to be, it used to house an emergency management organization from New York State. They have vacated the property and they basically have turned the keys over to us. They don't intend to use it with the exception of an antenna and a satellite dish that are located on the property. There are also 2 significantly sized warehouses available that we could use. Some of the questions we would have is, what are the annual costs associated with this? We think we have to take a close look at that. The other issue is potential environmental. We probably want to do an environmental study. Are some underground fuel tanks. We don't want to end up with an environmental issue. So we have to do some more homework. The process is we would ask for a home rule request to accept the property. It would go to the state. It would not get to the legislature this year. So at the earliest it would be introduced into the state legislature would be January of next year for probable approval maybe by the summertime of 2026. So the earliest we could formally accept the property would be 2026. And I think we need to do a lot more homework before we finally do that. But what this resolution does is at least starts that process with the state, and we can always turn it down depending on which direction we want to go. I think we'll have further discussion about this at the committees. I think it might be better placed in facilities committee. And so we'd have follow-on discussions about it, I think. Over to the county attorney if you have anything else.
It was property the county deeded to the state of New York to create this facility back in 1967. A small portion after that was deeded to the town of Queensbury. I believe for parking, possibly for the trail system, the town trail system off of that road. And this is really just to get the process started. The board would have to we'd see another resolution in 2026 prior to moving forward with actually taking title to the property. But we need to get this to the legislature so that they can then in January of 2026 assign bill numbers and start the process.
Thank you.
Supervisor McGowan.
Thank you. You know, I know the property. I guess, I really think we need to do diligent on the homework. Just due to the fact is, you know, really, one of the things, what would we be using it for? That should be part of the discussion. I mean, just because it has warehouses and stuff like that, I'd hate to see the cost of warehouses and that to acquire more stuff that we, you know, probably won't use or whatever, or equipment of the cost of the cleanup and everything we're gonna do to bring this property so we can enter it. So I would just really want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't cost more than what we really need. And, you know, 1967, and buried tanks, red flag.
Supervisor Etu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd be interested in an analysis to see, as much as I think the sheriff's office or OES might benefit from it, if we were to take title, if it could ever be retrofitted for a regional look. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this resolution? Any requests for roll call votes? Any resolutions? All right, let's vote on resolutions.
Resolution 176, making supplemental appropriations. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Runyon? Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Trainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 177, amending Warren County budget for 2025 for various departments within Warren County. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Runyon?
Yes.
Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Gilligan?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Mr. McGowan?
Yes.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 179, amending land lease assignment with Suburban Gateway Renewables LLC for Warren County Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport Solar Land Lease to extend the termination date and other modifications. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Runyon?
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Gilligan?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes. Yes.
Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 180, amending land lease assignment with Southern Gateway Renewables LLC for Warren County Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport Solar date and other modifications. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Gilligan? Yes. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Trainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity? Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 194, amending table of organization and Warren County salary and compensation plan for 2025 to create positions within the Department of Probation, Sheriff's Office, and County Clerk's Office. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Runyon?
Yes.
Conover? Yes. Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Gilligan?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Gowan?
Abstain. Wife works in probation.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 913 votes in favor. Resolution 199, authorizing sale of real property located at 240 Sanford Street, Dearborn Falls, around at College. Thomas?
Yes.
Runyon?
Yes.
Conover?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Mr. McGowan?
Yes.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 201, authorizing the appropriation of funds from the Computer Reserve Fund to the Information Technology Budget to purchase computers and related equipment and software and amending 2025 Warren County budget. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Runyon?
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Gilligan?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Mr. McGowan?
Yes.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 202, authorizing appropriation of funds from deferred revenue Gaslight Village parking fees to Charles R. Wood Park lawn and landscaping equipment, authorizing reimbursement to the Village of Lake George. Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Patchit.
Yes.
Mr. Drossy.
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 203, authorizing appropriation of funds from the Warren County Industrial Park Sewer Fund balance to the Department of Public Works budget to cover cost of water sewer tax invoice. Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yeah.
Mayday,
Yes.
Diamond.
Yes.
Yes. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Drossy,
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor.
All those favor of the remaining resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. We'll open it back up for any further public comment, further to the floor.
Thank you. I would be remiss if, going back to the finance school, I would be remiss because I didn't mention Supervisor Runyon as part of the tourism and Supervisor Cito, for your backup support with the occupancy tax and also our Glens Falls supervisors. Thank you. One other thing to let you know, VRBO is at the conference and they actually spoke. And as I've shared with you in some of these, the OCTAX committee meeting, VRBO is working with us on the new New York State STR sales tax law. 100%. It's been Airbnb that have been rather difficult. I believe the word I used several times was onerous. And they have actually done a 180. So they are now fully complying with the New York State sales tax rule and they will be working with us. They still want us to opt out, which again, both New York State, both NISAC and VRBO, as well as executives in those organizations and as well as treasurers throughout New York State. Warren County has an incredibly robust registration process and an incredibly robust tax registration process. We will be reaching out to the counties to talk to the towns and villages who have their own laws to talk about some of the code enforcement that's required in the law. But by us taking it to automation, by us automating a front portal for everybody to use online for our hosts, our short-term rental owners, and also for the people who use our hotels, motels, and resorts who also use some of those platforms, we're just going to be making it easier. And for us to opt out, it just doesn't make sense. And the other reason it doesn't make sense for us again is because once we're up and running and we're bulletproof, there's a real opportunity for us offering a shared service to other counties in New York State. And I've had at least a dozen folks reach out to me, both in the meeting and after the meeting to talk about that. But that's it. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Supervisor Strainer.
My shout outs. I want to congratulate the 29 Queensbury students who were inducted into the Spanish Honor Society. I never knew there was a Spanish Honor Society, so I'm sharing that with all of you right now. But 29 students, that's pretty good. The other thing, whereas we always seem to have issues with National Grid, and at times, where your bills kind of get to you. They did a nice thing here. They had more than 180 students at the career and technical education programs for WS, WHE BOCES to teach them how to identify where gas lines are and how to dig in the areas they are. They do this on their own dime, and I thought that was pretty nice of them to do that for us. So that's it for me.
Anybody else? Supervisor.
Thank you, Chairman.
Tired.
This past Friday and then also scheduled for May 16th and May 30th, Crandall Park Beautification Committee is hosting, I think in cooperation with the county, an invasive species removal in Crandall Park. I believe that begins around noontime. Elizabeth Little Hogan is kind of spearheading that, but there's information out in social media and I can find it if you can't. And then also, if you'd like getting your fingernails dirty, the Tri-County United Way is hosting a community services day, cleaning up Hovey Pond in Queensbury on Sunday, May 18th, beginning at 12:30.
Supervisor Turner.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you. On Friday, this coming Friday, May 16th, at 3 o'clock is a ribbon cutting at the South Street Event Center. So all are welcome to come, and that is from 3 to 5, and then 5 to 8, there's a block party. So come and eat and have a party. Also, Sunday is Pet Fest, Glens Falls Collaborative Event, Pet Fest, from 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Bring your pets. There's going to be a lure course for dogs. Bring your pets and come and visit.
I'll bring Dan.
Okay.
He doesn't play well with others.
I just, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. It's more of a request, but many of you have probably heard already that President Duffy at SUNY Adirondack is, she's had her last graduation. And there's another graduation happening on the end of June, which is her retirement date. And my request is to see if we can get her invited to our June meeting so that she can be recognized by the full board. I will do that at the committee, but I think it's appropriate for the full board to do that also. So if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put that request in. Thank you.
Last announcement is, I just want to remind everybody, it's May, Memorial Day. Honor your veterans. There'll be a lot of Memorial Day parades, I'm sure, coming out in the near future. It's always an important day to honor those who fought for this country and some who lost their lives. So, nothing else? Motion adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.